Hi, it's Carl Brower, and I'm standing next to the 2025 Kia Sorento plug-in hybrid in SXP or Prestige trim. Now, this model is the most expensive version of the Kia Sorento. It costs $55,000. You can get a EX trim level that they just introduced for only about $50,000 that's still a plug-in hybrid like this. Or you can get a non-plug-in hybrid, just a traditional hybrid, for around $40,000, or you can get a base Kia Sorento, no hybrid tech going on at all, for around $33,000. That's a pretty big spread. I think it's cool that Kia is offering so many versions of this vehicle with such a big price spread, but you might be asking yourself, why would you spend $22,000 more than the base model for this plug-in hybrid version, even if it's the top of the line? Well, because this is the best version, and it's the best version even though it's not quite as fast, believe it or not, as the standard hybrid version, and it doesn't get quite as good of fuel efficiency, and it doesn't even have as much towing capacity as those lesser ones. This one's got a 2,000-pound towing capacity, whereas the non-hybrid version, the traditional gasoline model, has 3,500-pound towing capacity. So a lot of issues with this car, and yet I'm calling it the best one. What's up with that? Let's jump in. The fact is that the Kia Sorento plug-in hybrid is the only version of this vehicle that will give you 32 miles of pure electric driving bliss. That means you can use it as a daily commuter or errand runner, and it's basically an electric car, zero gasoline burned. But you can also use it as a long-distance family trip vehicle, or in the case of an emergency where something comes up and you got to drive 400 miles right now, you can do that with zero range anxiety and zero stress about finding a charging station. I love that level of flexibility that you get with plug-in hybrids. It's why I've already written and produced my video about the Toyota Prius, and it was essentially a love letter about how the Toyota Prius is the best new car you can buy, at least in terms of pure value. That $34,000 starting price for the base SE model that gets you 44 miles of pure electric range and then 52 miles per gallon once the engine fires up. I don't know how you beat that or how you argue with that equation, but maybe you need more than 5-person capacity, and maybe you need more than, well, I think it's like 20 cubic feet of cargo capacity within the Toyota Prius Prime. If that's the case, here's your 3-row plug-in hybrid that has up to 75 cubic feet of cargo capacity when you fold all the rear seats down. Now, even before there was a plug-in hybrid electric version of this vehicle, I always really liked the Kia Sorento because it did offer that 3rd row of seats. And it's in the compact SUV category, so that 3rd row isn't going to be great for adults, but it could work for adults for a short period of time, and it will definitely work for kids for longer journeys. And that 75 cubic feet of cargo capacity, the max capacity when you fold all the seats down that I mentioned, that's more than every other compact SUV except the Honda CR-V. I think it has like 76.5. It's got just a little bit more. And the Mitsubishi Outlander, which has, I think, like 79.7 or something. So it's got like 4 more cubic feet of cargo capacity. Of course, the Honda CR-V only has 2 rows of seats, and the Mitsubishi Outlander does have 3 rows, but, well, it's a Mitsubishi. So anyways, I really feel like the combination of factors and capabilities that you get and flexibility that you get with this vehicle gives it the edge on every other compact SUV. I should also mention that the Kia Sorento plug-in hybrid electric vehicle gets 33 miles per gallon after it exhausts its 32 miles of pure electric range. So let's hit those numbers one more time. You've got 32 miles of pure electricity, 33 miles per gallon once you're driving on gas. You've got 75 cubic feet of cargo capacity. And of course, you've got Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Now, I looked through the compact SUV category and I couldn't find anything that came close except the Mazda CX-90, which does have a lot of the same traits. It's available as a plug-in hybrid. It's got 74 cubic feet of cargo capacity, call it a tie. And it does 25 miles of pure electric range before the engine fires up. So it's close, but it costs more than this vehicle, and it only gets in the high 20s instead of 33 miles per gallon when the gasoline engine has to fire up. Now, it's also faster. It does 0 to 60 right around, I think, 6 seconds. This thing's at about 7.5, so it's going to feel quicker. And because it's a Mazda, I'm sure it's going to drive better too in terms of handling. So I need to drive the vehicle to know more about it, but I'm going to assume it's more fun to drive, but it's more expensive. Doesn't get as good of fuel economy when it's running on gas, and doesn't go as far on electric as this one. And it is a little bit smaller, 1 cubic feet, and it costs more. And it doesn't have the 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. So check out the CX-90 if you're shopping. I'm going to give it a closer look because it's the other vehicle in this category that now rivals the Sorento that I've liked for years. But knowing all the facts without having driven that one and having driven this one, I'm going to still call this one the winner. Price essentially is the most important thing. And if this one's starting at around 50 for the EX and even 55, that's a lot. But I think the CX-90 is about $5,000 more expensive than this one. Kia uses a 1.6 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine as the starting point for the Kia Sorento plug-in hybrid's drivetrain. But then they add a 66.9 kilowatt electric motor, and it's driven by a 13.8 kilowatt hour rechargeable lithium-ion battery pack. Now, all of these Kia Sorento plug-in hybrids come with all-wheel drive and a 6-speed automatic transmission, and they're rated for 79 mpge, which is that rating when they try to combine the pure electric range plus the fuel efficiency when the gas engine fires up. I'm still not sure how that ever equates to functionality, but I guess it's just a comparative stat you can look at versus other vehicles. That charging the 13.8 kilowatt hour battery pack will take either 10 hours on a standard 110 volt wall outlet or 4 hours with a level 2 home charger. The standard equipment list on the Sorento plug-in hybrid is pretty impressive. Even on the base EX trim, you get not only those 3 rows of seats, but second row captain's chairs and front row heated seats. You also get wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto and a 12.3-inch central touchscreen. Now, if you step up to the SX Prestige trim, like I'm standing next to, you add leather seats, ventilated front seats, heated second row seats, a sunroof, a phone-based digital key, a digital rearview mirror, a 12.3-inch digital instrument display, and a 12-speaker Bose audio system. I'm also a fan of the dedicated climate control area here. No matter what you're doing with those 2 displays above, you've always got access to your climate controls, and that includes seat controls for things like ventilation and heating. Love that. And the other element that Kia talked about was how they tried to have a USB-C port throughout all 3 rows of this vehicle, and there are 2 up here. You can actually switch between how you're utilizing these USB-C ports on the front of the center console. High quality controls are almost becoming a Kia trademark. This shifter has this kind of cool looking, almost semi-glass knob with these great knurled patterns on the outside, makes it easy to control. And it looks kind of like the Genesis, it's nothing like the crazy Genesis shifter that flips over, but you can see hints of that, shades of that premium Genesis brand, even in this Kia Sorento, just because of how nice this shifter looks. Other standard features on every Kia Sorento plug-in hybrid include things like automatic emergency braking and lane keeping assist and blind spot warning, but you have to step up to this top-of-the-line SX Prestige version behind me to get a 360 surround view camera and the highway driving assist technology that does allow for improved but still not unlimited hands-free driving on the freeway. Driving the Kia Sorento hybrid confirms what the performance numbers suggest. It's not the fastest vehicle in this category, but it's not the slowest either. It's completely adequate. And actually, you can change driving modes down here with this little dial, and putting it in sport mode, without doing anything else, immediately causes a shift in throttle response and overall acceleration. I'm pretty sure the electric motor is trying harder and adding a little more juice to your acceleration efforts when you put it in sport mode. It also handles fine. It's not going to be sporty, even in sport mode, but it's not going to be floppy or scary. It's not going to inspire you to go around corners, but it's also not going to make you afraid of corners. So really, in terms of driving dynamics, I really have no complaints. In fact, the only complaint I do have driving this vehicle is lack of a volume knob, which surprises me because various car companies have been trying that move for a while now, and it never seems to go well. But this vehicle has no volume knob whatsoever. The only way to control the volume at all is through a toggle switch on the left steering spoke. And that means if anyone else in the car, like your front passenger, wants to control the knob, GTS for them. There isn't one. I'm surprised Kia did that. I would expect better of them, honestly, but that's my only real complaint. On the plus side, there's a lot to like about this interior. It is roomy, it is comfortable. This version has the leather seats and a lot of high quality materials throughout. And it's got these dual 12.3-inch screens that are both easy to interact with and have an intuitive control system. I also like the 12-speaker Bose audio system, and really the overall driver position and visibility. We've got the digital rear view mirror here. This car feels very upscale. It should, because it costs about $55,000 in this version, but thankfully it doesn't cost that much and you're wondering where the money went. The money is apparent. High quality materials, excellent digital displays, good ergonomics, and a very refined ride quality. Not to mention, of course, the technology of a plug-in hybrid electric drivetrain. That's some advanced stuff. I think a lot of people forget what it takes to put all those components in a single drivetrain and make them work happily together. This car does. I still think that the Toyota Prius Prime is the best value and really the best overall vehicle you can buy right now as a new vehicle. But if that one doesn't carry enough people or cargo for your needs, you should seriously consider the Kia Sorento plug-in hybrid electric vehicle. This thing's got a wide range of capabilities and functionality, and I like the idea that you're going to use it as an electric car most of the time, but you're going to still go on long trips and never have range anxiety. And now you can do that with 3 rows of people and a lot of cargo in the back.